The City Council workshop to order. Roll call.
Mrs. Billings? Here. Mr. Pallone?
Here.
Mr. Sirianni?
Here.
Dr. Sally?
Here.
Mrs. Bastelli?
Here.
And I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspapers in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law.
Okay, we're going to start with the discussion regarding the vacation along Jim Lynch Drive. Mr. Aaron?
Yes, this was presented through originally the clerk's office by the owner of the corner property of Jim Lynch Drive and Park Avenue on the southeasterly corner. The attorney prepared a letter together with completing all of the requirements of the street vacation ordinance 208-1 and provided the appropriate fee. What they are looking for conceptually and in practice is to square off their property. They would acquire, by virtue of any vacation, an additional 21 feet on the southerly-most part of adjoining their property, which is at Park Avenue, and tapering as you go north to 8.3 feet. If in fact any of you who have looked at this and gone down there to try and figure out what is exactly going on, rather than have me try and defend a position that I didn't take originally, I would suggest that we can have the applicant come before the council in workshop at the next council meeting and be here to answer any and all of your questions if in fact you have some. If you don't have questions, then in that event, this could be moved to the regular agenda for the next meeting. And even if you do have questions, time-wise, if you have a presentation by the applicant and the applicant's attorney and surveyor, if you're satisfied with that, you could move it from the workshop at the next meeting to your regular agenda.
So they want to obtain some of that roadway, correct?
Basically, their property, the Levy property, is right here. They have given notice to these two property owners of what they want to do. They don't believe that their property is affected by anything that goes on Jim Lynch Drive, and they're right, because these people's access is at Vosey Court and has nothing to do with access. They have no access points out to Jim Lynch Drive. They are saying that the proposed right-of-way that would be left is going to be remaining a full 50 feet all the way down here after a vacation of 21 feet here, going down to 8.3 feet, about approximately here. Whoa.
When you say 21 feet, what do you mean?
Well, from here up this way, in this direction. Okay?
So part of the curb not in the street is our property.
The city's property is all the currently existing blacktop, etc.
And part of the grass?
And part of the grass, right, because they're measuring from the curb to curb, or what is the curb to where the right-of-way would end.
Why are they asking for this land?
There you go.
That was the question I was going to ask.
That's a question that I can't answer because the letter from the attorney doesn't say anything other than we would like to square this off and you will still remain with a sufficiently wide street that would support our application.
If I read it right, wasn't there an objector to it? The one guy didn't want it? Or they couldn't get a hold of the one owner?
They wrote to them, they sent them a letter, they received no response to that person. And the only conclusion I can draw is that the owner of this house here is the one that they tried to contact and they never had a response from them.
What they're saying is the right-of-way goes out here past the pavement. The pavement's 30 feet in width. They're saying it goes out here 20 feet, then it goes out here 8 feet into the grass line. So this section here, east of the curb line, is actually city right-of-way. One of the last map in the series shows it.
Right.
But they're saying, you're not using it, we're cutting it, vacate it and make it our property and we'll pay taxes on it.
Tell me if what you're saying is correct. I don't think they want to go into the road at all.
No,
No,
I think they want to just cut the property.
they
off.
want to cut their property off.
My
Correct.
opinion, Jimmy, after you sent the email, I went and checked it out. I think what they're trying to do is they want to get rid of all those trees and keep that open.
could be.
In other words, that the 21 feet there,
It's here.
Is on the
Back in
grass.
here.
right, so all of
it's behind
that
the curb.
is all dense, high trees there.
It's all grass.
That house is gone, by the way, today.
Yeah.
They destroyed the house, and they're moving to remove all the trees. I'm guessing that they want to level everything and just keep it clean.
Not the trees.
That's my guess.
You're probably right.
I don't think it impacts.
It's not going to impact
The street
what's
at all.
already here.
The stuff
No.
they're looking for is behind the curb.
Right here. This area here.
So those are our trees.
Those are our
Where?
trees. Yes.
Were. Well, or were.
No, they didn't take those. I mean, at least as of 3 o'clock today, they didn't take those down.
If whatever is 21 feet,
Right. They seem to be
Here.
staying within the 21
21
feet
feet.
right now.
Do you think they just want to square off the lot?
That's what they said. That's what they said consistently.
I mean, yeah, I think square it off, but I think also, like I said, those trees are like 50, 60 feet.
Now, Jimmy, does that get appraised and
We'd like to
then
keep those.
there's a purchase price involved?
No, there's no purchase price on a vacation of any municipal property. What will happen is, in the event that you were to grant this, that property will accrete to the property owner. It will increase their property and it increase their taxes to whatever the value of that land is.
And now that it's merged into the big
Lots.
lot, it becomes more valuable.
Yeah, lot 27.7.
Right.
So if the applicant were to come here, are we able to charge them
No.
for selling?
No.
Okay.
There's case law, we actually argued that case in a matter that involved that project. And the council at one point said, we'll do it, but we'll do it if you pay for it. And then we changed that opinion. The lower court approved us, saying we couldn't charge. And then the appellate division ruled, you were right, you cannot charge when we were offered offered money. You can't be offered money for
Jimmy, let me ask you
Why?
this.
Could you explain why that's true?
It's against public policy.
In what way? In other
You
words,
would encourage people to buy public property. And the
so
city
you
would,
either keep public
you
property.
either keep it or you give it up. That's why you have the vacation ordinances that are set up to be reviewed by every department in the city of Long Branch, together with the utility companies, together with the police, fire, zoning, planning. They all weigh in.
You just brought it. This is that area is supposed to be all developed. If we give that away, are we going to hear from the utility company?
No, they've all been put on notice and have not objected.
That's all. Kevin, that's all underground utility down there anyway, right?
Is that
Jim
underground?
I have no idea. I've never seen this before.
Jim Lynch Drive.
I believe they're underground utilities, yes, sir.
It's all underground.
Jimmy, so we can't ask for money, but what about this? I noticed that on both sides of the street, with the exception of that area that we own, there's all concrete sidewalks, all the way down and on both sides. So if we were to agree to that, since it was a public right of way, can't we at least ask that they do the concrete all the way up? See what I mean? In other words, they went around, I'm assuming the reason that whoever did all the sidewalk construction left that area blank because the city owned it. So if you look across the street and on both sides, and even the little corner there, the only place there's no concrete sidewalk is there. I'm assuming if we were watching we do it, we don't own it.
So we have to make it clear.
So the question is, if we were to vacate it, could we at least stipulate that for the public good, they have to put in a concrete sidewalk?
Well, is
Because
there-
otherwise, somebody's gonna maybe walk in the street.
That may be required as part of the planning board approval for that site. You know, those lots are all governed under approval.
Because he'd have to put sidewalk on his property on Park Avenue side.
The answer is yes, we can ask, but it also may be required. And I can find out from the applicant's attorney whether or not that is required.
The gray roof house abuts
Right.
out to Bosie. No, not to Bosie, to
To
Jim
Jim
Lynch.
Lynch?
So you've got his property, Levy's property, lot 7.
But he's not gonna connect.
And the gray, where you see the gray roof, and where the development started, that's where the sidewalk started. And it was part of it.
So if the planning board says,
This,
look, do it.
this wasn't
go
part
here.
of the project.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's my whole point.
You'll have sidewalk, no sidewalk.
You'll have, what you would end up with, Councilman, is sidewalk to the end of their property line here.
No
Then
sidewalk.
No, I think it goes all the way, you're sure it doesn't go
Yeah, it
all the way
does.
down there?
Yeah.
No, look,
Right there.
leaving on this guy's property. So you'll have
I'd
sidewalk.
like more information on the trees on that property.
Fine.
How do you,
Go by.
Well, I'll notify them to come in next council meeting and discuss it with you as to what's happening
as
with
far
trees.
as, I mean, our own city employees, they would know, wouldn't they? The environmental commission may know.
We need a survey to see if in fact the trees are, are on lot 7 or if they're in our right of way. I mean, that's something the applicant could tell you.
Well, I
And
would
the
say,
applicant-
I kind of measured it off, I mean, not
Yeah.
officially. They're in the right of way, they're in that 21 feet.
The trees.
I mean, you
Yes, all
probably
of them.
should, part of the stipulation might be that the trees remain, or as many of the trees remain as possible.
Mhm.
And also, if at the back of his property, there's 8 feet of right-of-way that's behind the curb at the north end of lot 7, you might have some city right-of-way that's behind the curb from the end of lot 7 back to that. So he very well might be able to continue the sidewalk all the way around on that side. That's a question we could ask them, and they could tell us, you know, before they come in.
So I can send them a letter telling them to come on in at the next council meeting. The council has questions concerning the trees, where sidewalks, and whether or not they have any obligation with their planning board approval to create sidewalks over there.
Do you have questions for the applicants?
You know, I think that Silverstein and those guys already did that, where they own the property. This portion up here, where there are no sidewalks, they didn't own.
No, because it's city-owned right-of-way.
But we might say to this guy, in exchange for vacating the property, build a sidewalk.
Even down the other way.
Yeah, all the way to that
All the way
one spot.
To matches the other spot.
If we can get it.
Do you have questions for the applicant?
From Tommy Hirsch, he's always.
Okay. How about you, John?
I mean, everything we
Do you want them-
discussed
if they come
already.
in,
Oh,
do you want them to come in and
Yeah.
speak to them?
Yes, I want to know what his
Yes.
plans are.
What the
And
reasoning is behind it.
Okay.
is he going to be driving out onto Jim Lynch? Is he planning on, if the house has been torn down, that means he's building something.
Jim, the other thing I wanted to ask you is, so he apparently reached out, if I look at the map, or maybe, I think this is, well, you and I are looking at the same map. I believe he contacted the people across the street, which is block 101 and 102, but he said he hasn't been able to reach the person 801, and he thinks that person is deceased. Whoever's there is a tenant.
Yeah.
So is he able to do this without the actual, or I should say, do you recommend it without getting?
You don't need those people's approval. He did that as a belt and suspenders, abundance of caution. But you do not need the consent, nor does the ordinance require notice to those people, but he's given whatever notice he can based on the tax records.
Do either of you see any public use for that area?
Me? No. I don't at all, I think. I can't see any.
Brett? No. Kevin? Stan?
No, sir.
Would that be a lot that could be subdivided? Is that one of the?
The
things
21
that
feet?
could happen? No, from, no.
Police
The
substation?
21 feet plus, I think his lot is like 280 feet.
No.
It'd be like 300 feet wide.
Okay, he subdivided.
Yeah, can he subdivide
He can't get another lot on there, no.
with that?
No, he's already gone to the planning board to get approval to do what he's, or he's got a building permit to do what he's gonna do,
You might went through zoning.
or zoning, whatever, but he's had to get permits. If he's demolished a home, there, he's gotta get some approvals.
Okay, let's go on to the next item. Everybody having done with your questions? Item 2, regarding the various ordinances, will be moved to executive session under contract negotiations. And under review of the regular meeting agenda, Resolution 153-16 will be removed from the regular agenda and be discussed in executive session under contract negotiations. Now, are there any questions regarding the regular meeting agenda? Councilwoman Billings? Nope. Councilman Siriani?
No.
Councilman Jones? Okay, I need a motion to, before I close the public hearing, excuse me, I just want to make a mention of some of the recreation programs that we have in town. One of the things that came up, that usually comes up, is we hear things like, there's nothing for the kids to do in this town. And our administrator put together some information that I'd like to just share with the public briefly. There's much more information on the library website and on recreation. So for recreation programs for children, we offer soccer camps, traveling soccer, youth baseball league, youth basketball league, lacrosse camps, junior lifeguard program, tennis program, wrestling program, summer employment for youth on the beach and in parks. And also, it's not under the recreation, but is available in our town, Little League and American Youth Football and cheerleading. General programs at the library are extensive. The library offers programs and services for both teens and children every day. They serve free lunch between noon and 2 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, excuse me, not every day, but Monday through Friday in the summer. There's a Teen Ambassador Volunteer Program. There's Teen Tech Time from 4 to 5:30 p.m. There's 20 laptops available with Wi-Fi. Directly following that, there's a daily teen programming at 5:30. And just to mention some of the things that are coming up this week, on the 13th, there's going to be card games. On the 14th, there's going to be movie night. And next week, there's an entire program coming up: poetry reading, game night. There's also children's programs at Elbron and the main public library. There's Kids Club every Monday at 4 p.m. So there's a good deal to do in our town, and those are just a few things I'd like to mention. Again, just go to the library website for more details and our city website. Thank you. I'd like to have a motion to adopt a resolution to go into executive session.
Second?
Excuse me, wait, first I need to close, right? I need a motion to close this meeting. All in favor?
So moved.
Second.
Any opposed? Okay, I need a motion to adopt a resolution to go into executive session for the following items. LB contract negotiations, Small Grant Partners, update your village, proposed amendments to redevelopment ordinance, proposed ordinance changes, IOA, litigation, Lepore. Need a motion?
Second.
Mrs. Billings?
Yes.
Mr. Palone? Mr. Siriani?
Yes.
Dr. Selly? Yes. Mrs. Pastelli?
Yes.